What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Fantasy Tomorrow, and this is our injury update video for Week 10. So let's go ahead and just jump right into talking about all of these injuries. Let's start off with talking about some long-term injuries. Now, of course, we hope all of these guys get back on the field as soon as possible, but it might be a little bit of time. First off, Chase Edmonds, running back for the Cardinals. He has an ankle injury that turns out to be a high ankle sprain. So he may likely go on IR and will miss at least a couple of weeks. In his absence, James Conner should see a much higher workload, and Eno Benjamin could also work into that rotation as well, so definitely a couple of players to keep an eye on. Our next player is DeVante Parker, wide receiver for the Dolphins. He's dealing with a shoulder and hamstring injury and was placed on IR over the weekend, so he's likely going to miss the next couple of weeks at least. And then our last guy is Calvin Ridley, wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, and he was placed on the reserve/NFI list, meaning he's going to miss at least a couple more weeks, but hopefully Ridley will get back on the field very soon. Now let's move on to some more minor injuries to watch that could really have an impact on our lineups for Week 10. First off, Kyler Murray, quarterback for the Cardinals, has a foot injury and missed Week 9, and there's a chance that he'll miss Week 10 as well, so we'll definitely want to keep our eye on him. Russell Wilson, quarterback for the Seahawks, is dealing with a finger injury, but he has been cleared to return by his doctors and should be good to go for this week. Aaron Rodgers, quarterback for the Packers, is dealing with COVID, and the earliest that he could be cleared to play is Saturday, so we definitely aren't going to know whether he's available until very late into this week, and if he can't go, Jordan Love will start again. And I think that you kind of have to downgrade everybody in the Packers offense if Rodgers can't play. Now, Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback for the Dolphins, is dealing with a hand injury. He was a very late scratch in Week 9, and he's definitely going to be one to watch this week. Sam Darnold, quarterback for the Panthers, is dealing with a shoulder injury and is considered day-to-day, but even if he is okay to go, he may find himself on the bench due to his bad recent performances. And then our last quarterback, Mike White of the Jets, dealing with a forearm injury, but the Jets have indicated that White is likely going to make his third straight start this Sunday. Let's move on to some running backs. First off, James Robinson, running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars, is dealing with a heel injury that caused him to miss Week 9, but he is expected to return this week. Damien Harris, running back for the Patriots, is dealing with a head injury, and we'll definitely need to watch to see whether he practices this week. Chris Carson, running back for the Seahawks, is dealing with a neck injury. He could come off of IR this week and is supposed to practice, so he's definitely one to watch. Kareem Hunt, running back for the Browns, is dealing with a calf injury. He could come off of IR this week, but that might be kind of unlikely. And the same may be true of Clyde Edwards-Helaire, running back for the Chiefs, who's dealing with that knee injury. He could also return from IR this week and will be one to watch, but it may not happen quite yet. Jamaal Williams, running back for the Lions, is dealing with a thigh injury. He missed Week 8 a couple of weeks ago and is coming off of a bye week in Week 9, and we'll definitely want to watch his status going into this week. And then our last running back, Zack of the Buffalo Bills, is dealing with a concussion and will need to clear the concussion protocol in order to suit up in Week 10. Moving on to some wide receivers, DeAndre Hopkins, wide receiver for the Cardinals, is dealing with a hamstring injury. He missed Week 9 and is considered day-to-day. We'll definitely need to watch to see whether he practices this week. Chase Claypool of the Pittsburgh Steelers is dealing with an undisclosed injury, so we definitely need some more information there about what he's dealing with. Antonio Brown of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is dealing with an ankle injury, and he's apparently still in a walking boot despite having a bye week last week, so not looking good for Antonio Brown. Let's move on to some tight ends, and we'll start with Rob Gronkowski of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's dealing with that back injury, and he had a bye week last week to get healed up, but his status is still in question. Definitely going to be one to watch going into Week 10. Logan Thomas of the Washington Football Team is dealing with a hamstring injury. He could return off of IR this week, which would be great news for him. Dawson Knox, tight end for the Buffalo Bills, is dealing with a hand injury. He missed Week 9 and is expected to return to practice this week, so good news for Knox. Hopefully he's able to play this weekend. And then finally, Noah Fant, tight end for the Denver Broncos, also was on the COVID list this past week. He's going to need to be able to come off of it this week in order to play, but sources say there's a good chance that that's going to happen. Alright guys, so we know that was a lot of injuries, so here's a little bit of a recap for you guys to download or print off so that you can keep track of all of these guys as you set your lineups and make your waiver claims this week. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe for more league-winning fantasy advice. Drop us a like and a comment. Check out our Facebook and our Twitter. Ask us questions. We really love interacting with you guys. And check out our other channel, Pretty Smart Sports, where we're talking about all sorts of different sports stuff. But again, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.